During this week in Pokemon Go, we are going to be getting some more Halloween content and a lot of other goodies that are definitely worth your attention. I'm going to be talking about all of this in today's video. Let's get right into it. Alright, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So this week is going to be a lot more Halloween events. We are of course going to be getting part 2 of the Halloween event of this year, and right now we have part 1 going on in the game. And I will say that this year's Halloween event has been pretty decent, to say the least. There has been some new Pokemon that we could get, and then of course some costume Pokemon are on the way. I think they did a pretty decent job. It's not necessarily something that a lot of players are getting overly excited about, but I think a big reason for that is because of the new leveling system. So let's go over the Halloween Part 2 event, because we are going to be getting that later on this week, and then afterwards let me talk about some other things that you could look forward to. Halloween 2025 Part 2 is going to be happening from October 27th at 10 o'clock AM local time until November 2nd at 8 o'clock PM local time. This is going to be directly after Halloween Part 1 ends, so it's going to feel like one long event. Now, the featured Pokemon for this event is going to be Teddiursa with a new witch hat, and then of course its evolved forms, Ursaring and Ursaluna, wearing the same hat. It's actually a pretty interesting design specifically for this Pokemon because it doesn't necessarily feel like it's on theme. It kind of looks like a Mismagius hat on a Pokemon that is very different from a Mismagius, so I think this is overall really interesting. And then of course there's also going to be Noibat with a headband, and you don't really see the headband on Noivern, but yes, it's going to be a costume version, and for all of these Pokemon you can potentially get a shiny version of them. Now, as I mentioned, you can get every single one of these Pokemon as a costume, and they can evolve with the costume. So, unlike some other Pokemon that we've seen in the past, you will be able to get the costume versions of the evolved forms with these Pokemon, and that is definitely pretty key because that is something you typically do not see. So if you want to get Ursaluna with the witch hat, you just need to evolve Teddiursa into Ursaring for 50 candy, and then with a full moon, you want to evolve a Ursaring into Ursaluna. Just make sure the Ursaring that you evolve has the hat on. And then of course the same goes for Noibat. You just need to get a Noibat with the headband and then evolve it with 400 Noibat candies, and then you're going to get Noivern with the headband. Now, in terms of other Pokemon that we've gotten in the past with costumes, as well as the new Pokemon Poltergeist, you can get them through 1-star raids, specifically Pikachu wearing a Halloween Mischief costume, Piplup wearing a Halloween Mischief costume, Sinistea, and then of course Poltergeist. And then 3-star raids, there's going to be even more Halloween costume Pokemon, including Gengar wearing a Tricks or Treats costume, and then Drifblim wearing a Halloween costume. Now, during this event, we're going to see the following event bonuses. On October 31st, so for one day only, costume Pokemon will have a small chance to give Rare Candy or Rare Candy XL when you catch them with a nice throw or better. And then you're also going to see an increased chance to encounter shiny costume Pokemon from raids, and this is going to be throughout the entire event. And then of course, there's going to be bonuses related to the special Go Pass, and if you were to unlock Milestone 1, you're going to get double the amount of catch candy, but also if you have the Go Pass Deluxe, you're going to get 3 times the amount of candy for every Pokemon you catch. And then with Milestone 2 unlocked, you're going to see an increased chance for Candy XL with Nice Throws or better, and then with Tier 3 unlocked, you're going to get double the amount of candy whenever you transfer Pokemon, and you're going to see an increased chance to receive Candy XL whenever you transfer Pokemon. And then of course, if you get the Go Pass Deluxe, it's going to be increased to 3 times the amount of candy every time you transfer a Pokemon, and even a greater chance to get Candy XL whenever you transfer Pokemon. And finally, in terms of wild encounters, you will be able to see the new costume Pokemon Teddiursa and Noibat wearing a hat during this Halloween event, and they're going to be spawning in the wild with other Pokemon. And then in field research tasks, you could pick up the other costume Pokemon that we've gotten in the past, which includes Pikachu wearing a Halloween Mischief costume, the new Teddiursa, and then Froakie wearing a Halloween costume, the new Noibat, as well as Rowlet. And you're also going to be able to encounter Spiritomb as well, which is of course kind of like a Halloween staple. And then also within certain field research tasks, they're going to give you Mega Energy for either Gengar, Houndoom, Sableye, Banette, or Absol. Alright, next up, let's go over the weekly content, starting with Dynamax Battles. So appearing in Max Battles during this week, we are going to be getting Woobat. And very different from the previous weeks, Woobat is not necessarily going to be a meta-defining Pokemon for you to get, so if you want to take a break from Max Battles, this will be a good week for you to do that. And then, when it comes to 5-star raids during this week, starting on October 28th, we're going to be getting Giratina Altered Form. And this is a legendary Pokemon that often appears every year with Halloween, so if you want to get this Pokemon, or if you want to farm up candies for it, this will be a great opportunity for you to do it. Next up, let's talk about what's going to be spawning in Mega Evolution raids. So until this Tuesday, October 28th, we're going to continue to have Mega Houndoom and Mega Absol, but afterwards we're going to get a whole bunch of Dark and Ghost type Pokemon, specifically Mega Gengar, Mega Sableye, as well as Mega Banette. And then when it comes to raid hours this week, we are of course going to be getting one featuring Giratina Origin Form. Yes, it's going to be Origin Form and not Altered Form. So if you want Giratina Origin Form, just keep in mind that there is going to be a raid hour for this Pokemon. And then finally, let's talk about this week's Spotlight Hour. It's going to be featuring the Pokemon Sinistea, and it's going to have a 2x catch candy bonus alongside it. This is a pretty big one because Sinistea actually has a rare version of it that you could get in the wild, and that was actually confirmed online. So if you want to get the rare version of Sinistea, which I believe is the antique version, you will have an opportunity to get it during this Spotlight Hour. And before we close off this video, let's talk about what's going to be active within the Go Battle League. So until this Tuesday, we're going to have the continuation of the Open Great League, Open Ultra League, and Open Master League with a 4x Stardust bonus from win rewards. So this is actually a pretty key thing because having all 3 of these leagues open is a great way for you to get some extra ratings. But after this Tuesday until November 4th, we're going to have the Open Great League along with the Halloween Cup Great League Edition. Okay, so there you have it. This is everything that's going on in Pokemon Go during this week, and I will say it's a pretty decent week. But something I do want to point out is that next month we are going to be getting a lot of really solid content. For example, the Wild Area event and the lead-up event to that event. There's just a lot to look forward to. So if you do not find yourself really excited right now within Pokemon Go because these events are not necessarily living up to your expectations, just keep in mind that there is going to be a season of just a lot of really stellar content just around the horizon. So that is definitely something to look forward to. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Definitely share your thoughts regarding everything going on this week down below. Is there something in particular that you are looking forward to? Do you feel like this week is going to be a pretty fun week? Definitely share those thoughts and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here, and also don't forget that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, if you want to support my YouTube channel and all my content, the best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you decide to become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to personally add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids, the friendship system, opening and sending gifts, different things like that. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. I'll put a link to it in the description below. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you could do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms you see right now on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go there and give me a follow. That'll be a huge help to my channel, and you'll be able to keep up with my daily life. With all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself. Hope you have a really solid week, and I'll catch you all later.